What's up, guys? So we've kind of teased this video a few times in a couple of our recent videos, but we're going to talk about what is Heather's favorite campground so far.
You can't say that because we have to review it and rate it, and it's supposed to be a surprise.
She gave that one away last week.
Well, might not rate it high though.
Maybe.
So today we are reviewing Redgate Farms in Savannah, Georgia.
So it's a really beautiful campground. We really liked it there. But just like every place, there have been pros and there have been cons. So, what was the thing that you liked the most that made this campground really stand out to you?
So for me, it wasn't so much the site we were in, it was more of the grounds itself. The grounds were absolutely beautiful. Almost every day we would find time to go pull Elias around in the wagon, look at all the animals. They have they have horses on there, they have a farm, goats, chickens,
Peacocks.
peacocks, yeah. But the horses were really, really cool, and they're really friendly. So they come up to you, you can pet them. Same thing with the goats. So I enjoyed that. Not only was there that on the ground, you didn't have to go somewhere to see them and interact, but it was really, really pretty having that in basically in your backyard.
Yeah, and it was pretty. There was a fishing pond during the
There's a
summer.
couple ponds.
Yeah, there's a couple of ponds. I know one of them. When we got there, the guy said this is the fishing pond. So I don't know if you can fish in all of them or not. I didn't do any fishing while we were there. There's a swimming pool. We weren't there. We were there in December, so we didn't hit the pool, guys. I wish we could have.
It's a really pretty pool.
It is.
It's right there in front of the pond, and right beside that was an awesome playground.
Yeah, so really fun campground for us to hang out at for the what we were in Savannah for a week, and it was the perfect location because you weren't in downtown Savannah, which is kind of hard not to be because Savannah is kind of one of them sprawling areas. So but it was really conveniently located. We were what 10 minutes from historic downtown Savannah.
Mm-hmm.
We had a Walmart and grocery stores literally within 5 minutes of the campground, so that made it easy. And that's a big thing for us because lots of times when we get to a place, that's one of the first things we do is we go stock up on groceries. So I don't want to have to drive a long ways for groceries. So location was perfect for it.
The staff was really friendly. You pull up, it shows you where to pull up to. Went inside, the guy was really, really nice. Helped us, told us if we needed anything, had any questions. They had brochures in there. We didn't really interact, I don't think at all after that first time with the office itself,
Yeah.
because we didn't need anything. But I mean, anybody we ever saw, whether it was staff or people staying there, everybody was really, really friendly.
Yeah. And this is a place that, what would you call it? I guess you could call it maybe like one of them destination wedding kind of places.
Yeah, it's a venue. It has a
Yeah,
venue on.
it does have a venue on it. So that was one thing on the weekends. Just be aware of that.
Yeah.
Because they do have weddings there. And we were sitting in the trailer one night and I'm like, what is that thumping noise? Like somebody's like playing music really, really loud. And that's exactly what it was. There was a wedding. Now, the weddings and the receptions, from what I noticed, they do follow their quiet hours on that, and the receptions were over by, within quiet hours,
Yeah.
which I think was like 10 o'clock. So if you're one of those people that goes to bed early, that might be aggravating.
I was gonna say, I know this makes us sound really old, but yeah, it was really, really loud. It was like you were playing it in your own trailer.
Yeah.
But it wasn't so much to where we were angry. It was just wow.
Yeah, it was just one of those things where when we realized it, we went, oh, that's it.
So with the noise though, what else? What other kind of noise? Because that was one of the things that's kind of a con.
So I hate to like knock somebody for something that's outside of their control, but environmental noise. There's an airport real close by, so there are planes flying over all the time. You're real close to.
Wasn't it like helicopters though? Or
you're
something?
real close to an Army airfield, so you have Black Hawks flying over all the time. There is a police training range, handgun training range, not too far away, so you hear that pretty often. And there's also an ambulance dispatch center right down the road.
But also, there's a train.
Oh, yep,
Every
and there is a
night.
there is a train track right
The
next door
the
too.
best
So
part is when all of those sounds happen at once. It's fun.
yeah, because if you've never been around a train when it's hooking up, because that's the other thing, you're right there on a main port for the United States. So those trains are hooking up and disconnecting all night and all day. And if you've never been in an area where this is happening, it sounds like it sounds like a train wreck because they're literally backing those train cars into each other and boom. So you've got that, ambulances, airplane noises, fire, guns being fired off every now and then. But these are things that are out of their control, but it is something that you want to be aware of if you're going to be staying there.
Yeah. So again, it wasn't, something where we're like, oh my gosh, we got to get out of here.
No.
But it was something we had to get used to, especially since we had been staying in really, really quiet, off the beaten path places.
Yeah. So, and that was a little different.
But other than those sounds, the actual like campground itself with the people was really quiet and really like relaxing.
It was. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was I did enjoy our time there. So there are cons. Even you can enjoy your time and there can still be cons. So the other thing that we really liked, the other thing we really liked was that they do have trails that you can walk around on the campground. And like I said, guys, it's a beautiful setting. And if when you think of Savannah, you think of that Spanish moss hanging from the trees, and you can walk some of these trails, and it's just these awesome, huge oak trees.
Well, and that was on the whole property too.
Yeah.
On the sites themselves, you get a couple little palm trees. It's really cute. We had a palm tree on each side of us, like a single palm tree, but it was really cute. But the rest of it was Spanish moss.
The big oak trees with the Spanish moss, and it was really pretty. And we got some really good video of that you guys will see. So what else was there that was like? Oh, the placement for their hookups. And then we've run into this one other time. And with the other place, it was just the sewer connection was all the way at the front of the site. Here, their water, their power, and their sewer was all at the front of the site. So I actually had to use our extension for the power.
That's when you had to go buy more poop hose, isn't it?
No, that was in Kentucky.
So we had it already.
We had it, but I had to use all the poop hose that we had, and the extension cord for our power.
And that reminds me of something I didn't write down. 50 amp only.
Yep. 50
that
amp
was the
only.
first place we had gone to. I knew it from the reviews, so if you do read, you will know, and if you watch this, you'll know. Not a big deal, but you do have to have.
You do have to have an adapter if you have a 30 amp rig, but. Like we said in videos before, guys, that's just something you have to be prepared for, because they're not the only ones like that. Those campground we're at right now, they're 50 amp only. So that's just something you got to be prepared for if you're going to do this kind of stuff. And I mean, even if you're a weekend warrior, that's something you want to be prepared for, because you never know when you pull into a campground. Well, you may not know. If you haven't really dug into the reviews and the research like we do before we show up at a place, you may not know that, and that's just something to be prepared for.
So really, really, really enjoyed it. It was one of the campgrounds that when I left, I was really sad. It isn't like our normal, really, really cheap places like we've talked about. We do really good at finding the really cheap but really nice, instead of when you think of cheap, it's, really rough. So it's a little more pricey, but it wasn't as bad as most of the ones in the area. So for the area, it was a really good price, but it is worth literally every dollar.
Yeah, it is. The only other con that I would say that I really had, and this isn't a big deal, but if you're towing or if you have a truck.
I thought you were going to say if you have a tow. Go ahead.
I have 10. But if you're towing, or if you have a vehicle with heavier suspension, bumpy roads, they are terrible.
Like this.
Bumpy roads. They're no fun.
They are fun, unless you have a trailer hooked up.
So the road coming into the...
Now they're going to know we're not outside.
The trees are falling.
It is windy outside. Elias, you're messing on me. Come back. Elias, come here.
swear this is a real tree behind me.
Come here. You gonna
But
climb the tree?
the road coming into the farm or campground itself is great. It's a really nice gravel road. But once you get down to the site that we were on, you came in and you turned and you went down like this little. I mean, it was a road, but it was like a road that had been made because people drove over it so much. Um, that was a little rough. So maybe throw some of that gravel down on that road too, because even coming in at night, whenever if we're coming in the dark, sometimes driving up to the trailer is boom, and uh, so you're doing like 2 miles an hour to try and avoid the potholes. So maybe throw some gravel on that road. I don't know, but that would be my thought.
What did you think of it? Did you like it? You liked playing outside. Did you like seeing the goat? You remember the baby goat? Yeah, and the horses? What do you say? Thumbs up or thumbs down? What do you think? Thumbs up or thumbs down? He's still thinking about it. So,
what do you think?
If I were to give it a rating of 1 to 5 stars, you guys are not going to believe this, I would say 5. What would you rate though?
It would be a hard 5. It's great. I do love the campground, so maybe like a 4.8.
So again, it's funny how we rate things because there's one that we rated a 5 that didn't have almost any amenities. There
Right.
was nothing there, but because of how amazing the staff was, the owners. So really, we base it on so many different things, so you can't really compare one campground to the next. So worth going.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Definitely
Definitely check it out. I mean, it's a beautiful campground, and especially if you're just going for the weekend or something. Well, maybe not for the weekend. Maybe it wouldn't be a great weekend place, but for an extended stay, yeah, it's nice. I don't know. I'm confused.
Okay.
So, anyhow, guys, if you're in Savannah and you're looking for a really nice campground to stay at, make sure you check out Redgate Farms in Savannah. Great location. Just a few things to really knock on it, but like we said, we both give it a 5 or a 4.8. So, guys, again, if you like these videos and you want to see more of these reviews, make sure you like and subscribe to this video. And if you don't follow us already, why not? Go ahead and follow us, guys. We're always doing campground reviews. We're doing how-tos on stuff on RVs, which can come in handy because there's a lot to fix on RVs pretty often.
And if you don't have any interest in any of that, we have this really cute kid that you can follow along and watch his journey.
Very true. So make sure, like, subscribe, turn on the bell notification so you know when we post new content, and find us on Instagram and Facebook, guys. So, yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Go check out Redgate Farms. Bye, guys.